Oh, you better believe it, I'm a believer. This is the video review for Believer, 2018 Korean crime noir film. This is a remake of the Hong Kong Chinese film Drug War, directed by Johnny To. Great movie, you should check that one out too. As a remake, this one is amazing, okay? So, Drug War, the poster, okay? I believe this one is going to many territories worldwide. Become the enemy, catch the enemy. The Korean title is not Drug War, it is something like the War of the Venomous People. Okay, and this is a action noir film, and if you know anything about the history of Korean cinema when it comes to action noir, nobody does it best. And if you think other people do it best, let's look at it this way. Nobody does it like Korea. They have their own style when it comes to this kind of a high crime action noir genre. We're talking about Ajoshi, the Man from Nowhere. We're talking about Shinsegae, the New World. We're talking about Bittersweet Life, okay? These movies, if you like those, you're gonna love Believer. We have a new 2018 Korean crime film to enter that family. When I say nobody does it like Korea, it is just the polish that comes to these hyper-violent, hyper-stylized, very dark. You just don't see other countries taking big chances on these hard, what would in America be just a very hard R. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Believer. This is directed by Lee Hae-jun. As you can see from the poster, this is a huge cast. I'll kind of try to break it down with the actors as we go along with the story. This movie is about a detective named Won-ho, who is played by the great actor Cho Jin-woong. He is obsessed with tracking down and finding this mysterious drug lord criminal named, who goes by the alias of Mr. Lee. That's all we know. And we know he's very hard to catch. And we don't know exactly how long Won-ho's been after him. We get the sense that it's been quite a while and he's been very unsuccessful in his attempts. Near the beginning of this movie, there's this explosion that happens in this factory, and we learn that that was a kind of drug manufacturing plant that has only one, actually two survivors if you can count a dog. And that survivor is played by the actor Ryu Jun-yeol, and this is an actor who has been very impressive to me for everything that I've seen him in, and most recently was my review. You can read that on the website of Heart Blackened. He was the highlight of that movie. He just has this acting style that I hate to use this word for this movie, but it's just very believable. He doesn't really seem like he's putting on a show for his roles. He just has a very realistic style to his acting. So he's this survivor, and he's acting a little bit strange, and the detectives finally get a chance to sit down and talk to him. They find out that he might be their last and only link that they could possibly use to getting to this Mr. Lee, the drug lord. So this Ryu Jun-yeol, his character's name is Lak. He's got a little bit of a strange name, but he has a little bit of a strange backstory as well, and you'll find out when you watch the movie. So combined with Lak's own motives, the detectives convince him to work with them on this very highly orchestrated undercover sting operation they're going to try and enact. Think of it like The Wire. The police agency doesn't actually want them to pursue this drug lord. He's just too high risk. It's too impossible to find. So it is very Wire-esque, the TV show, in the sense that they get their own small office space to just do what they can and see what kind of leads they come up with. They got the big board, and they have, you know, all the leads that they follow. Their big clue is they have this Lak, who actually was working at that drug factory. He has this insight. There is a Chinese buyer coming to town, getting ready to meet with this Mr. Lee drug lord character. So that buyer is played by the late Kim Joo-hyuck, rest in peace. And I just want to say, his performance in this movie is absolutely mental. He is a combination of True Romance's Drexel Spivey, played by Gary Oldman, and Tony Montana from Scarface, Al Pacino. I mean, he is this drugged up, he's coked out of his mind with his girlfriend, and it is pretty scary, and they put on a frightening performance that just blows everybody away. So they become this target of this sting operation that they're going to pretty much go undercover, try and find out whatever lead they can to get to this mysterious drug kingpin, if you will, Mr. Lee. That's all I'm gonna say about the story. This movie started off pretty if you know what I mean. I just felt it was kind of TV drama in the feeling that I was getting from the vibes, from the actors, from the set. That went away in about 10 minutes. As soon as they really started, the acting and the story started kicking in. Thankfully, it did turn into one of the better Korean crime films that you're gonna see in a long time. Very well acted. So this movie is very stylized, more so than I would say most, and I kind of got the sense that it was based on sort of a graphic novel. Some of the costuming and the sets were a little bit over the top, but it really fit in with the style of the movie. So the acting in this movie was off the charts. It was amazing. I did have a couple problems with some of the characters, particularly the woman police officer that's part of their small undercover crew. The main character, played by Cho Jin-woong, he goes to great lengths to imitate some characters on this sting, and the girl cop pretty much does nothing, and she just kind of floats by as a shadow. So I thought that was a little bit of a missed opportunity that really could have enhanced the dynamics of their whole team effort that they had. And there is some pretty unbelievable setups that you kind of have to let go, where you would think, why don't they just call the SWAT team right now? They have all the evidence they need, bust it down, take them. They go to some unnecessary steps to really dramatize the whole situation, but this story will go to places that you didn't think it was gonna go, and that's one thing I really liked about this movie. Very unpredictable, and a bonus, it does not follow exactly the original drug war. So if you think, oh, it's original, I know what's going on, you don't. There is enough new here. Another great point of this movie is its soundtrack. It was Thor Unleashed. It had some of the craziest bass with its gunfire, with the actual beats of the soundtrack. It was just thumping loud, and it gets inside your body, and your heart is... hold on to the seat tight. But yes, this is a must-watch pretty much for everybody, simply because of the performances, especially, like I said, the late Kim Joo-hyuck. He goes bananas. I've never really seen anything like that before. This movie goes from being a pretty good movie to a really great movie by its conclusion. It leaves a lot to be discussed, which is a thing that you might know that I enjoy in films. So I do think this movie rates up there with some of the best Korean dark crime noir films of the last decade, and that's like what I said earlier, The Man from Nowhere, The New World. This is up there, and it's a little bit below those, but it's in that realm, which is a hard place to get to, and it's a place that is only accessible, I believe, in Korean cinema. So if you're a fan of those movies, you will enjoy this one immensely. I'm confident of that. I will rate this movie a strong 7 out of 10. It's a strong 7 out of 10. Check this movie out. Believer. If you have any questions, if you like this review, please leave a comment below. Like it if you liked it, and hope to see you guys next time on the next review. This is Tyler from the Movie Beat. Keep watching movies.